there are two types of jihad, the civilization jihad and the military jihad. And the Muslim Brotherhood plan, which you've heard me talk about, you've talked about as well, the Muslim Brotherhood Project for North America, which was written in 1991 and actually presented as evidence in the largest terrorism financing trial in America's history by our government against the Holy Land Foundation, where our government handed down 108 guilty verdicts to Muslim American and Muslim American organizations raising money in the United States and sending it overseas to support Islamic terrorism.
Hi guys, doing this is Sahar TV, and in today's video we'll watch the amazing Brigitte Gabriel on the Dinesh podcast talking about the difference between military jihad and the other types of jihad that exist in the world. If you don't know what it is, this video is for you. Let's watch.
It looks to me like there are two forms of jihadi penetration of the West. And tell me if you agree with this. The first form is the more familiar form. It's represented by things like 9/11 or October 7th. It is the outright attack. And of course, we associate these kinds of things with Hamas or with ISIS or Boko Haram, those kinds of groups. But there is a sort of second type of jihad that people are perhaps less aware of, and this is more connected with the Muslim Brotherhood. And this is the notion of infiltrating these societies and traveling on the passport of liberalism itself. I just heard on social media this guy, Mehdi Hassan, who said something like this. He goes, well, you know, if the Christians have a right to ring the church bell, therefore the Muslims have the exact same right to have a public prayer and a call to prayer 5 times a day. And now, you know, I'm assuming Mehdi Hassan is not going to sign up to be a suicide bomber. He's practicing the sort of infiltration type of jihad. Do you agree with this sort of classification of these two types of jihad? And do you also agree that maybe they need a different type of response?
That's exactly what's happening, Dinesh. There are two types of jihad, the civilization jihad and the military jihad. And the Muslim Brotherhood plan, which you've heard me talk about, you've talked about as well, the Muslim Brotherhood Project for North America, which was written in 1991 and actually presented as evidence in the largest terrorism financing trial in America's history by our government against the Holy Land Foundation, where our government handed down 108 guilty verdicts to Muslim American and Muslim American organizations raising money in the United States and sending it overseas to support Islamic terrorism. And they were doing it using civilization jihad. And in their plan, there's a paragraph where it says, understanding the role of the Muslim brother in North America. And that paragraph states very clearly the role of the Muslim brother in America as a civilization jihad. That means that Ikhwan has a duty to infiltrate and dominate in the West using our open-mindedness, our technology, and whatever available to them to basically destroy what they call our miserable house from within, using us as the Americans, and also using the Ikhwan. And we are seeing this play out. And
if you don't know what jihad is, jihad literally translates to struggle, right? But jihad back in the Quranic time, 1400 years ago, was pretty much fighting anybody that opposed Islam, and even people who had nothing to do with Islam. How did Islam spread so far from Arabia in such a short amount of time? Jihad. They were trying to impose Islam on other people. If you don't want to do military jihad or, by the sword, you can also donate funds. You can send money. That's a financial jihad. If you don't want to do that, you can do educational jihad, which is what Mehdi Hassan is doing. And if that doesn't work for you, you can just set up a stand in Manchester or London and preach to people about Islam. If that doesn't work, there's many other things you can do. For example, Al Jazeera, what they do is they do media jihad. They preach Islam to the non-Muslim crowd, and that's why a lot of Americans choose Al Jazeera as their main source, the most biased source. They choose that source, and that's jihad as well.
What I tell people is there are terrorists dressed, they are Islamic radicals dressed in Armani suit. They are jihadists just like the ones who blow themselves up. You've got the Mamdani type. they are still inside their mind.
With Mamdani, you have the political jihad infiltrating American politics from within, and then Islam is going to come and it's going to be acceptable, and slowly, America is going to become more and more Islamic.
They are the Muslim Brotherhood. They are operating to advance an agenda. Yet they are using the West as the useful idiots who are so, smitten with the fancy clothing and the great personality and the great smile and the culture and the travel, etc., etc. Well, meanwhile, voting for these guys and getting them into office. And that's exactly why we saw 42 Muslim elected officials got elected last week in the election in no less than 9 states, and they were elected to advance an agenda. And that's the danger.
Oh boy, if you don't understand the concept of jihad, read about it. There's a pretty good book by Tommy Robinson called Muhammad's Quran. It's been banned from Amazon, but you can get it on Tommy's website. If you understand the meaning of jihad and how it applies to Muslims, it will be a lot easier for you to understand that the conflict, for example, between Israel and Gaza has nothing to do with Israel. It's got to do with the Jews. It's got to do with the fact that the Muslims can never accept to be ruled by Jews, because to them, Judaism is a canceled religion. Christianity is a canceled religion. Islam came to replace Christianity and Judaism. If they recognize a Jewish state, then they admit that Judaism is still alive and kicking. And oh boy, the Jews came back to their ancestral homeland. They're reviving their language. They're praying on Temple Mount where Al-Aqsa is built. We are the biggest enemies to Islam at the moment because of that. Because to them, we are posing war on them. But it doesn't end here. Islam should govern and rule and dominate the rest of the world. That's in the Quran. So if you think it's going to end with the Jews, you're wrong. It's going to prevail to you, to the Christians, and to the Hindus. It's already going to the Hindus. It's been going to the Hindus for a long time. And the Christians. First, the Saturday people, the Jews, and then the Sunday people, the Christians. So wake up. These videos, these types of channels, subscribe to them. Share the videos so we can finally eliminate, and if not eliminate, restrict the danger. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.